Welcome to Pilates and PJs. We're going to start off on our mat, on our backs, with a roll up. I'm slowly rolling down. Arms are going above my head. Inhaling as I sweep the arms around. Oops, I didn't have enough space. Hopefully you have lots of space around you. Exhaling, tuck the chin and rolling all the way up, reaching for your toes. And then inhale. At the top, exhaling back down. Another arm sweep, just trying to get some movement in the joints as we start off here. Exhaling and tucking the chin as you roll up and reach for those toes. We're going to do it one more time. Always slow on the way back down to extend the spine and lay one vertebrae down at a time. I did a little stretch there, trying to get into a good position, having the pelvis relaxed on the floor. I'm bringing the legs into tabletop, and we're going to get ready for the 100s. I'm showing a few variations here on the 100s. You're breathing in for 5 and out for 5 as you beat the hands. You can keep your legs in tabletop. You can straighten your legs towards the ceiling. You can put them on an angle. You can change positions throughout the 100 breaths. Whatever you like, just keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hugging the knees and putting the head gently back down. I was having a sore neck today, so I'm moving my neck from side to side a lot, trying to keep it relaxed. Next, I am rolling up to do rolling like a ball. So grabbing the knees, trying to keep the distance between the heels and the buttocks the same as you roll back on the spine. I like to roll back on an exhale and inhale as I come up. Exhaling back, inhaling up. Here we're doing some knee circles. I did not have enough room for leg circles because I was smuck up against my bed, but we do 3 knee circles in one direction and then 3 knee circles in the other direction. Again, just bringing movement into the joints, trying to get all the little sharp, tense muscles, the crusty fascia, getting everything moving. And then extending the legs long. Inhale to prepare. Exhaling forward. I'm going to do spine stretch forward here. So sitting up on the sits bones, reaching forward. Legs are open. Feet are flexed. Trying to round forward, making the letter C. Trying to keep the neck relaxed here and open across the chest. Exhaling as I stretch forward and inhaling back up. Here I like to flow into saw. So you're twisting and reaching towards your opposite pinky toe. Normally saw follows the spine twist. But I find if I do saw first, I do 3 times per side here, then spine twist is easier. And now legs come together for spine twist. Arms come out and sweeping to one side, inhaling, then exhaling, sweeping to the other side. My feet look very funny here. I'm trying to keep my heels planted so that I can keep my hips really grounded as I'm just rotating around the spine, basically from the navel up. Exhale as I twist. Then we're coming right into open leg rocker. So stretching those legs and exhaling as you rock back on the spine and inhaling forward to the starting position. That one worked. Exhaling back, inhaling forward. Then I'm doing the overhead here. This is not the proper version because I'm not lowering straight legs down to the floor, but I didn't want to strain the lower back. So we're going back and then flexing the feet, and then the spine comes down one vertebrae at a time as I exhale. We're going to flow right into the ab portion, I like to call it, for the series of 5. Single leg stretch. Exhaling as I squeeze the leg and stretch the opposite leg out. So squeezing the knee towards while the opposite leg stretches forward. My neck was really bothering me here. Sometimes you just pick up your head and it gives your neck a little way to release. Okay, then we go right into double leg stretch. Extending and squeezing, extending and getting small like a ball. Sweeping those arms around, inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you squeeze. Then it's time for single straight leg stretch. Bringing the head up again. Pull, 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 pull. Trying to stretch those legs out of the hip sockets. Reaching and extending and breathing, of course. And then right into double straight leg stretch. Trying to keep those legs long as they go away from the body. Exhaling as they come back in. Pressing the lower back into the mat to maintain neutral spine. And then I do a little neck wiggle here. This is when I find it's definitely time to come over on to a prone position and do some back work. So we've got swan here, inhaling up for swan, exhaling back down. I'm making sure my navel is still contacting the mat so as not to put stress on the lower back. Inhaling up and elongating, exhaling back down. I thought it was nice to do some neck rolls here too, making sure the neck is relaxed as you twist to one side all the way around to the other, then back to center, coming back to that same side, twisting all the way around to the other side. Just a couple of those to keep the neck loose. And while down here, it made sense to do some double leg kicks. So kick, 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 kick. These are really good for engaging the hamstring and the glutes. And then I like to include beats while we're there. Once again, making sure that the pelvis is in neutral position to not strain the lower back. Flipping onto my side after a nice child's pose, just to stretch the back. It's time for side leg lying position. I'm doing the sweeping forward and back. I find this very challenging to keep the hips stacked and in alignment as that top leg moves, stretching as far as it can as it sweeps across. And then just raising and lowering that top leg, trying to make it longer each time as it comes down to meet the bottom leg. Keeping the hips stacked. A nice rond de jambe, I think this is called. The leg goes in a circle, beautiful ballet move, and then in the opposite direction. And I always have to have leg circles here. I love that feeling of stirring the spoon in the cup. 5 in one direction and 5 in the opposite direction. Really working the leg abductors and the medial glute. Switching around to the other side. Things are starting to get warm here. Making sure that I have the sides of the waist lifted. There's a little hole underneath my navel while I'm lying down. Sweeping forward and back. Would have been great to have more space behind me so I could sweep that foot back. Trying to keep the hips stacked and as steady as possible. And then lifting and lowering that top leg while keeping the pelvis stable. Some large fouettés. I gotta really look up what these are called. There is a ballet move, but I don't recall what it is. 3 in one direction, 3 in the other, and then some lovely juicy leg circles to finish it off. 5 in one direction and 5 in the other. Really working that medial glute. Nice long legs. Coming onto the back for a minute. Let's do a little bit more glute work here. Articulating the spine up into a glute bridge. I'm going to go right into single leg glute bridge. Lifting and lowering. Keeping both of the hips level, and then the classic Pilates, sweeping the legs forward and back 3 times. And then lowering, switching to the other leg, really trying to touch the ceiling with those toes, lifting the hips up off the mat as high as possible, keeping them level, and then sweeping the leg back and forth 3 times before placing the hips back down. Then rocking up, coming over to the side for one more little bit of side leg work. I find it's easier to do side leg lying first and really activating those abductors, and then doing this series second. Not a lot of movement here, as you can see. Not a lot of range of movement, but I'm still lifting while keeping the hips level. Well, a lot of pelvic movement there on those leg circles. I can definitely work on that. Try to keep your hips as still as possible, really feeling pelvic floor and all the deep abdominal muscles working during these exercises. Coming to the other side, lifting and lowering. A little bit more range of movement on this side. And then flowing into those leg circles forward and then backwards. Getting some good work on those medial glutes. Coming back down to the floor after a nice little stretch. Onto your back for a little bit more lower abdominal work. Hands at the side here. Nice and broad across the shoulders and relaxed in the neck as you scissor the legs up and down. This would be called walking if we did it at the springboard or on the Cadillac. Scissor, 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 really engaging those internal inner thigh muscles. Pelvic floor is very important here. Nice stretch of the legs. And then we're going to finally do that last of the series of 5, the bicycle. I like to do the bicycle very slow, extending one leg as the other one reaches for the opposite elbow, and breathing, trying to keep the neck relaxed. And after all of that, it's time to stretch. Coming up and getting ready for mermaid. Wonderful side stretch. Popping up into mermaid, stretching, looking towards the ceiling. We're going to do a twist here. A side plank twist. Exhaling and twisting. Inhaling as I reach towards the sky. Keeping those hips high during the twist. Last one. And then coming down. And a bit of a counter stretch here. So I'm going to go back into the mermaid stretch and then the counter stretch, stretching the other side before moving on to the other side, bringing those legs around. For mermaid on the other side, coming up and then exhaling and squeezing the air out as you twist that hand underneath the opposite armpit, keeping the hips high during the twist. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and coming back down. The seated mermaid twist, and then the counter twist on the other side. Okay, that is it for us today. Sitting cross-legged, I'm getting a nice stretch in the back, a nice way to elongate the neck, a little bit of traction on the neck here, and rolling back up. We did it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had fun.